Penuh takwa dan tawaduk. Syukur Ramadan TV2.
It's back again. Hello on to back with you on a Wednesday. Yes, it's a fabulous Wednesday. The weather's looking good out there for some parts of Malaysia. And yes, some parts of Malaysia did get rain. We are indeed very happy. That means a little away from the haze. And however, it doesn't mean the haze is completely cleared. Back with me again, Annie, on Hello On to this Wednesday. I am not alone. I actually have my co-host Constantine with me. Not here right now, but he's there because he's with Double D. He's going to be giving us the lowdown. In fact, the two of them are going to give us the lowdown on the World Cup to see exactly what's been going on in the World Cup. A lot of you are probably following up on the matches. You probably know exactly what's going on. But you know what? I think these two guys, you guys are going to give us a little bit of a input into what the pundits think about the World Cup. All right, now that aside, let's talk about what's going on in the country at the moment. Let's talk about a little bit about something closer to our hearts. What we're going to be talking about today on the show, let me just highlight to you. We have something called child safety. The other topic we have is called gorgeous and radiant during Ramadan. Yes, a lot of us have this. Now let's get into the child safety. That's a little bit more pertinent at the moment. We hear cases of child kidnapping. We hear cases of fathers who've gone to petrol stations, not locking the doors of the car, just leaving the child be. Car gets driven away. Kids are being picked up and kidnapped or even abducted as they make their way to or from the sundry shop. Now, these are children as young as 5 or a little older than that. Question is, after all the gruesome stories that we've heard, after all the gruesome cases that we've heard, after all the really heart-wrenching cases that we've heard, why do we still have this problem? Are parents being negligent? Is there a problem there? Is it parents who are aware of this and yet tell themselves, hey, it's not going to happen to my child, it's not going to happen to me, it won't happen in my neighborhood because my neighborhood is safe. But how safe are our children out there on the streets? How safe are they maybe in the playground? Now, I'll tell you this. There was a survey done last year by Malay Mail. What they did was the journalists and the reporters went down on the ground. They went down to very easy spaces. They went to shopping malls. They went to playgrounds. Playgrounds, they found that parents were very, very into their iPads, their iPods. They were just, very concentrated on their tech that they forgot the kids were there. Some of them even forgot the kids had moved off from their area to another area of the playground. When they went to the malls, similar things happened. So the question now lies, who is to be blamed? Are the parents to be blamed? Is it negligence? Or do you think that maybe we need to create a little more awareness in community as well as in schools? All right, now that is something that we want to put to you. So 2282-8578-8579, give us a call, Malaysia. Meanwhile, we do have something else that we want to talk about. I believe that most of you have read about the disabled child that was locked up by the mother, the one who suffered cerebral palsy. There's also a recent case of a child that was locked up in the room for months. All right, so now these are the cases that we need to also look into. The PM, of course, has urged that any of these families that you know of, or maybe families out there who have disabled children, PM has urged for them to please make sure that you go to the nearest welfare department so you can get help from the welfare department. More of that coming. I'd like to pick your brains on this, Malaysia. Tell us, what do you think about this? Do you think that maybe, there is a little bit of negligence or maybe lack of awareness? All the cases that I told you earlier, in fact, on child kidnapping, as well as this, literally shows that maybe there's not enough assistance coming in, maybe from the authorities, welfare department, or there's that lack of awareness. You talk to us, 2282-8578-8579. We'd like to hear what you have to say about this and much more. Right here on Hello On 2. Of course, I'm going to be sending you off for some World Cup updates right after this. So stay with me right here with Constantine and Double D in the studios on Hello On 2. I'll see you soon.
3 bintang bola sepak dunia. Coco Pass. Sepanjang 13 Jun hingga 14 Julai. 32 pasukan, 32 hari sambutan dengan 3 cita rasa pilihan. Mari bersamba bersama Coco Pie dalam Bersama meraihkan pertarungan gergasi bola sepak dunia di TV1, TV2 dan TVI. Piala Dunia FIFA 2014 bersama Coco Pie, pie coklat dengan marshmallow.
Saksikan aksi Piala Dunia di TV1, TV2 dan TVI bersama Ali Cafe yang diperkayakan dengan tongkat Ali. Mulai 13 Jun hingga 14 Julai, Ali Cafe membekalkan anda kecergasan berganda serta aksi-aksi hebat dalam setiap perlawanan bola sepak bertaraf dunia. Tunggu apa lagi? Nikmatilah setiap perlawanan bola sepak bersama dengan Ali Cafe. Ali Cafe, kuat kecergasan berganda.
Anda boleh mencipta video pendek, aplikasi mudah alih atau reka portal internet yang kreatif dan inovatif. Mari sertai Liga Remaja Kreatif 2014. Jika anda pelajar sekolah menengah, tubuh 4 orang pelajar dalam satu kumpulan. Cipta video, aplikasi mudah alih atau portal internet dengan bertemakan jalur lebar untuk pendidikan. Layari lrk.mcmc.gov.my. Isi borang penyertaan dan hantarkan dalam talian. Bermula 28 Mei hingga 4 Julai. Mari sertai Liga Remaja Kreatif 2014.
Bersedia untuk kuis perlawanan bola sepak terbesar dunia. Kuis Sambaria. Dengan kuis mingguan dan kuis terkumpul untuk memenangi hadiah keseluruhan bernilai lebih RM60,000. Hadiah kuis mingguan, barangan Coca-Cola, jam tangan Alexander Christie dan figura istimewa daripada Line. Hadiah kuis terkumpul, hadiah utama, sebuah skuter Modenas Elegance 200cc. Hadiah kedua, sebuah motosikal Modenas A115. Hadiah ketiga, sebuah motosikal Modenas EFI. Hadiah keempat dan kelima, 2 set teater rumah. Manakala hadiah keenam dan ketujuh, 2 buah TV LCD 40 inci. Rasai kehangatan Piala Dunia FIFA ini bersama RTM, Rio to Malaysia. Mari bersamba!
Hey, thank you so much for staying right here on Hello on 2 with Constantine and Annie. And of course, in the studio we have Double D. Welcome to the studio, buddy.
How are you doing, man?
I am doing A-okay.
Well, it looks like you had a good night's sleep, unlike me, who stayed up and watched those 2 lovely matches, which pretty much wrapped up the round of 16 as we head towards the quarterfinals of the FIFA 2014 Brazil.
Exactly. Wow.
So, all this morning, my dear friend, everyone was rooting for Team Argentina to actually trash the Swiss and send them back to start making watches, better watches, because the time was just not on their side. 90 minutes later, nothing happened. Gee.
Yep, Angel Di Maria's extra time winner carried Argentina into the World Cup quarterfinals after an unconvincing display against Switzerland. Now, the two-time champions dominated possession in a turgid last 16 tie, but were unable to break through until Di Maria swept in Lionel Messi's pass. It was a beautiful pass indeed.
Now, talking about Lionel Messi right now, everyone was rooting for Argentina because one man, there's no I in team. Now, everyone was banking on Lionel Messi's brilliant shot. But the fact is, that man is a playmaker. He wasn't, how do I say it? He was not greedy to be the top scorer of the tournament. Exactly. But he was a playmaker. He set the ball up for Di Maria. And what a beautiful goal. And the ball just found the back of the net. Hence, advancing Argentina to the next round.
Exactly. And what's going to happen right now? Argentina will next face...
Well, the next round is pretty interesting. We shall talk about the next round later on. But were you rooting for Swiss? I think the Swiss deserve to at least advance themselves to the next round.
Right, but I don't know. If you ask me, Argentina being the team
favorites
they are, and of course having Lionel Messi in the team, definitely I would vote. I mean, I would be rooting for Argentina.
In terms of ball possession and shots on goal, yes, Argentina did top that list. But nevertheless, whatever said and done, Switzerland is out. Argentina is going on to the next round. And then comes the next match. Team USA against Belgium. The chocolate makers against a super powerhouse in the world. We're talking about world football.
Exactly. But just before we get into that match that we saw earlier on, here's results from Google Trends. This is how does the Argentinians feel, about their country defeating Switzerland. We can see on screen right now, Argentinians, they're feeling very optimistic. And of course, if we take a look at the Swiss, they're
proud.
Yeah, they're feeling proud, even though they were defeated. But hey, they're very proud of their country.
Having said that now, there were a lot of speculation, of course, whether the World Cup is even going to take place in Brazil, despite the fact that people are complaining and protesting outside stadiums during big matches. I've got tons of friends who are actually in Brazil. They say, you know what? The locals there are so accommodating, and suddenly right now, Brazil has actually moved on to the quarterfinals. People have forgotten, okay, I think we should stop protesting here. Let's root for the country and make this World Cup happen.
And it gives us a good reason to feel happy about wearing yellow today.
I will always wear Brazil until whatever stage you're going to reach. After that, and then I go to hang this jacket back. Moving along, the next match which happened this morning was between Team USA and Belgium. 90 minutes, again, goalless. So pretty much you can set your alarms and not watch the match. Wake up after 90 minutes and catch the extra time.
Okay.
And then watch the match. Now, as we are watching right now, of course, during extra time, Belgium took the lead by scoring the first goal. But lots of shots were taken during the 90 minutes of play. Nothing quite transpired. But during extra time, Belgium scored the first goal. And then came the second. That did alone break the spirit of the Americans, because they came back with a third goal, so 3 goals in total, hoping for an equalizer to bring the match towards the penalty shootout, but that didn't quite happen.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, it did not happen. But check this out. Former England captain Rio Ferdinand, his analysis of the whole game, it was like watching a Premier League game. It was unbelievable. You have to start taking Belgium seriously. The manager is making great substitutions. And from the bench, they have better players than any other team to change a game. Now, taking a look at Google Trends right now, how the Belgians are feeling at this moment, they feel encouraged.
But Team USA, they're feeling proud.
Yeah, even though they were defeated, but still, you know, I've heard that the US right now, before this, they were so not into games which would not win them any goal. But right now, it seems like football seems to be, listed as one of the favorite sports in USA right now.
You got to say it right, man. Soccer.
Exactly.
It's soccer, man. It's not football.
It's not football. Right?
Yeah, but Tim Howard was the man of the match, saving 16 shots to goal out of 18, which are 2 balls found in the back of the net of the American team. And the Americans have done themselves well. So pretty much we are done with round of 16. And now we're going to move on to the quarterfinals. The match fixtures are pretty much done. France will meet Germany. So that's an all-European lineup for the first quarterfinals match. Brazil will meet Colombia. Now that's all South American right there.
Wow.
And then the other side, Argentina will meet Belgium. And Netherlands will meet Costa Rica. So what's your prediction, my dear friend?
Well, I mean, you mentioned Netherlands, and okay, I don't mean to be biased, but I was rooting for Mexico the other time to move forward, because like if you take a look at the whole game, they were putting their 150% in the whole game, but of course that penalty towards the end gave Netherlands the whole winning, all right? And I'm just hoping that Costa Rica would do something for Mexico towards
So you have got absolutely no faith in the Dutch to actually advance themselves to the next round. But putting all that aside, talking about all these matches, let's just promise you that you can catch the Brazil-Colombia match on RTM channel, and also the other match between Netherlands and Costa Rica. From semi-finals on till the finals, just keep it locked right here to TV1 and TV2 and TVI to catch all these matches live.
Now, Double D, I got a question for you, because like we spoke about this off air early on, and you did mention that it seems like all the teams in the World Cup this year, 2014, they seem to be playing it safe.
Well, playing it safe is one thing. Now, they don't want to be injured. If you realize, once we're done with the tournament here, the FIFA 2014 World Cup, what happens? EPL starts.
Right.
Now, all these guys play for big teams. That's where pretty much most of their income come from. And they don't want to end up starting the season like Luis Suarez.
Right.
4 months, not going to be playing for the Premier League. No, not making his presence felt because of his silly biting incident.
Exactly. And
someone got to throw him a bone or something.
I think so, yeah. But he did apologize, and I'm sure you can read it everywhere on the internet. Anyway, that wraps up our Hello on to FIFA World Cup 2014 segment. Thank you, Double D.
France, Germany, pick a team.
Germany.
Okay, Brazil, Colombia, pick a team.
Brazil.
Come on, Brazil, of course. Argentina, Belgium, pick a team.
Argentina.
Netherlands, Costa Rica.
Oh, hang on, Argentina, Belgium. I think, oh gosh, that's a difficult one.
Chocolate, just go chocolate.
Next one?
Netherlands, Costa Rica.
Costa Rica.
Well, the ball is round. Let's see what happens. So we're going to take a break right now and come back.
Stay right here.
Do you know that many Malaysians consume more than the recommended daily calorie intake? The average Malaysian consumes more than 2,900 calories per day, well in excess of the recommended 2,000 calories per day for adult men and 1,005 calories for adult women. To help home cooks enjoy great tasting dishes with fewer calories, Chef Florence Tan has demonstrated how a good premium towel works with fried chicken recipes that she has specially created in conjunction with the launch of this new kitchen towel at the Travelling Cooking Roadshow throughout the month of June. From fried chicken to pisang goreng, discover the many ways in which Scott Calorie Light Premium Towels can help reduce calories in everyday foods.
Nowadays, not to say nowadays, we all enjoy eating food. Doesn't matter what type of food, but now more people are very conscious about being healthy. So one of them, if you're enjoying fried food, there is a way to help to reduce the calories a bit by using a very good brand of kitchen towel. When once you have fried your chicken to the correct temperature, that is about 180 degrees. What you can do is you can put it on the good quality kitchen towel. It will absorb the oil about 25%, and on top of that you can pat it dry again. In that case, you can enjoy your fried food with lesser calories. Then the vegetables, we can either boil it or we can pan fry it. But eat a lot of fruits and vegetables, and don't forget, with the food you also have to exercise. Eat a balanced diet for health. That is very, very important.
Well, Malaysia is a paradise of gastronomical delights, and it is no surprise that one of the favorite pastimes of fellow Malaysians is to enjoy food. However, we all know that many of our favorite foods can be quite unhealthy due to the high oil content used during preparation. But it really can be difficult to say no when, for example, a delicious piece of fried chicken comes your way in a healthy way.
And there was some methods of you, reducing your calorie intake that was happening right then. We jumped straight into our hot topic for today, and it would, of course, still cover that. Okay.
Sort of, when you talk about calorie intake. But we are trying to look really gorgeous and really radiant during Raya. This is what we want to do. We want to do it really nice, look really good, and ensure that the weather and the environment does not affect your fantastic festivity.
Exactly. And of course, during festive season, when the time comes, especially with Hari Raya, roughly about a month from now,
actually not less than a month.
Less than a month.
We towards the end of this month. So
exactly.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Towards the end, everyone would love to look beautiful. Yes. When you attend all the open houses, or when you have that open house opened, if you know what I mean, right?
This is when you want to talk to our guest. All right, so let's bring our guest into the studios to find out a little bit more on how you can look gorgeous and radiant. We have with us Dr. Karen Poh, consultant aesthetic physician of Beverly Wilshire Medical Center, to tell us more. Hi, doctor.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Let's jump right in. Let's talk about looking good. What is probably the one thing that you can probably advise our viewers out there, our Muslim brothers and sisters, on looking good during the fasting month as well as towards Raya?
Sure, and also at the moment, together with the chasing on World Cups, I'm sure it's going to be lack of sleep on top of all these changes with fasting, dehydration, plus not forgetting at the moment our weather is a little bit dry and hot.
Yes, indeed,
it's a little bit unbearable, but I think these few days is a little bit better. We just had quite a good rain yesterday. But basically, we need to keep up, number one, of course, since we are going to have less oral intake of fluids. So I will urge, all of us out there to at least put on good creams or moisturizers, you know.
Okay.
The key would be actually selecting the correct ingredients, you know. Basically, in general terms, you want something that would attract moisture and of course something that would trap and seal in the moisture to prevent them from being evaporated.
Okay.
You know, basically, for example, you can look for good ingredients like hyaluronic acid that you can find in serums or creams that helps to attract, you know, and binds the water and keep it there on onto the surface of the skin. And then come in with a little bit of cream, a little bit of lotion, depending on your skin type, and of course on your preference, and then just layer that on and to keep it there. Yeah, that would be one thing.
So just to lock in the moisture.
Correct. And having a well-hydrated skin is actually quite essential for men, both men and women, and of course for all ages. Yeah, and that will also improve the appearance of your fine lines and wrinkles.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay. You hit the spot when you said fine lines and wrinkles.
Yes.
Yep. And speaking of fine line and wrinkles, I have a lot of that. It's probably not visible with all this makeup covering it. I'm not really a person who loves to wear makeup, but then again, since
your
this
skin
is what
look
we
lovely.
do.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you very
Looks
much.
like you've got too much makeup on today.
Well, I have this question. Could you tell us a little bit on Fraxel Restore Dual Treatment? What is it all about?
Well, this is one of the quite highly demanded treatment in my center, and also one of my favorite as well personally. And basically what it does is that nowadays, consumers, they would like to have less treatments, so that you get the maximum improvement. If I always like to say, try to do one treatment and hit as many goals as possible. And if you remember the advertisement by Toto Olay, like the 7 big improvements
the anti-aging stuff.
So Fraxel is actually quite near, in fact, almost 100% be able to target all these beauty woes and concerns that we have, and you can have a total overhaul of the skin, if might say.
Doctor, just to interject a little bit, now we are seeing some of these pictures on the screen at the moment, and I have to say, the after effects of it looks really good.
Correct.
Could you just maybe take us through a little bit on how the whole treatment is done?
Correct.
Because what we're seeing is, as we noticed through the slides, you've got women coming in with really bad skin. Some have got acne problems. Some are just very bad pigmentation, yes?
Correct.
So maybe you can just take us through those pictures.
Yeah, the one on the left-hand side is actually the before. As you can see, she has uneven skin tone, and unfortunately, so for her, she has one of the commonest problems that all women would, just have sleepless nights and despair, and that's called melasma. Yeah, and it's one of the difficult conditions actually to treat, really.
Melasma.
Yeah, you cannot get rid of that totally.
Oh, wow.
And another pigmentation that's there. And so with this Fraxel, we actually can have the wavelength that we need to target the pigmentation, which is located a little bit more superficial onto the skin. Yes, at the same time, not only it lightens the pigmentation, and also it helps to refine pores and gives you a much lighter skin tone, smoother skin as well. So that targets the surface problems that you have.
Okay.
Yeah, and the other wavelength that I mentioned is that it's able to target deeper problem onto the skin layer. One of it, like we've just mentioned, fine lines, wrinkles, acne scars. Acne scars for that, but I mean it's actually being depressed in. Yeah, it's not the darkened marks that we leave behind. Yeah, so you can actually have these two, one for the more superficial skin problem, like pigmentation, pores, uneven skin tone, rough texture, plus the deeper wavelength for those deeper problems, wrinkles, fine lines, acne scars, and you can have them both in one treatment as a combo. So that's what I mean by, one treatment session is trying to meet all these different problems and get more outcomes of it.
I see.
Yeah.
Now, we were speaking early on about how Hari Raya is less than a month away, and people would definitely...
Time flies.
Exactly, and it does. And, I'm sure people are wondering, like, say, if they want to look fantastic, radiant during the festive season, how long would this take, say, if they were to go for these type of treatments?
Yeah. The number of sessions we generally actually need, depending on the condition of the skin, in general, slightly there's a little bit more severe, you need slightly more treatment sessions, of course. So probably you need to start a little bit earlier. As with these laser for us, Asian skin is probably about 4 weeks interval, so we would plan a little bit ahead, at least probably try to get 2 to 3 treatment sessions before the big day.
Yes, of course.
And of course, apart from skin, it's also very important to realize that a face not only will not look good with the skin, also very important to have good volume in the correct places. But for example, like the depression that you get under the eye, the fold, the laugh lines that you get. So with all these, you can actually address with dermal fillers, of course, and that would probably before the fasting month, into the holy month. So you get that put in, that to address the volume problems first, and then you come in and you address the skin. So it's like an overall rejuvenation to give you a much more youthful look.
Well, Doctor, I think one of the other questions maybe the viewers would have on their minds is, okay, I'm going for this procedure. I'm quite sure the kaching is going to be really expensive. At the same time, if I go through, let's say, as you mentioned, say three sessions, do I need to come back again, say, in another 6 months' time to continue my session, or does that 3 session actually complete everything?
Yep.
How does that work?
Yeah, in general, we would advise some maintenance program that it might not necessarily be the same lasers. You can probably tone down, and combine with other treatment. For example, I myself, I love combination approach. And not to mention, our skin continues to age and is continuously subject to the environment pollution. Like nowadays, we get a lot of haze and all that. So, even though we have improved to a certain degree, you still have to maintain that, and so that not only you keep the improvement that you already achieved and that you further delay the aging process.
Right.
Yeah, it may not necessarily be with lasers, you can combine with other different modalities. Like, for example, professional chemical pills, you can have further the revitalizing fillers, things like that.
I see, interesting. Now, Doctor, would there be any sort of diet that one would have to specifically follow when we undertake this so-called treatment?
Yeah, generally, for me personally, I don't have like what we call the pantang, for that. Like I would tell my patients, say for example, if they find that they have taken some seafood and that's sort of, giving their skin a little bit more problem, then probably while you're healing from the treatment, you might not want to take too much of seafood.
Right.
And during that time, majority for me, I don't say avoid, but I would say try to take in more, for example, up your fruits and vegetables intake, so that, and also good quality protein like eggs, lean meat, so you get the proteins and enough nutrients for the body to heal, because your body also will need sources in order to build new tissues.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be the main.
Doctor, before we let you go, very quickly, again, I think the pricing is something that people would want to know as well. So what is the range that we're looking at for this particular treatment?
Sure. Generally at Bellevue Wilshire Medical Centers, actually we're not expensive. In fact, for the quality, the services that we provide is actually well worth it. And for example, a simple treatments like a professional facial starting from 400 ringgit onwards.
Okay.
For laser starting for 1,000 ringgit onwards.
Okay, and then they have like a couple of sessions they need to go through.
Yes,
definitely.
and we have customized program that we put in all together, not only just to maximize the effect, but to shorten your downtime, your healing, so that you heal faster as well. Yeah.
All right. Now, Doctor, finally, any website or perhaps the center?
Facebook.
Oh, yes. Please go into our www.beverlywilshiremedical.com.
Okay.
Yes, and we have got lovely Facebook updates every day as well.
Fantastic.
Beverly Wilshire Medical Group,
Yes.
medicalcenter.com.
BeverlyWilshireMedical.com is all one word, no space.
All right,
Okay,
so
great.
there you go. Thank you, Doctor.
No worries. Thank you for having me today.
Big thank you to Dr.
Pleasure.
Karen Poh, the consultant aesthetic physician of Beverly Wilshire Medical Center. And as Doctor mentioned, if you do want to look radiant this Ramadan, I mean, besides the fact that you go through a particular procedure, it's also, you looking after your skin, drinking a lot of water, staying hydrated. When you book a puasa with family and friends, maybe this is something you ought to do. Cut down on the sugar levels, cut down on the sugar drinks, drink more just water. Water helps in a lot of ways.
You know what I really love about that interview that we just had? You see, when Dr. Karen came on set, we knew she was going to talk about skin and how to look radiant and beautiful, gorgeous and all that. And she herself speaks of what she does.
Yes,
so it's amazing.
Yeah, that's right. Well, there you go. Practicing what she preaches. That's beautiful. All right, now stay with us. We've got more coming your way. One of it, of course, is the topic on child safety. We want you to call us, Malaysia, 2282-8578. 8579. Give us a call right here. Talk to Annie and Constantine. Tell us, what do you think we can do to curb this problem, as well as what can be done in communities to ensure our children are safe on the streets.
All right, we'll take a short break. Hot happenings with colorful dreams. Stay right here.
Nippon Paint's CSR program Colourful Dreams has entered a new phase with participating children's homes via a more in-depth sustainable program with current partner Persatuan Kebajikan Generasi Gemilang. Launched in June 2013, Colourful Dreams addresses both the physical environment and self-developmental needs of children with a makeover for the homes to create a safe and conducive environment, as well as thumbprints workshop run with PKGG for emotional and personal development to instill values like ownership and responsibility, encouraging self-expression, developing significance and motivating them to pursue their dreams.
Colourful Dreams is about first creating the right ambience for the kids to learn and to have a comfortable and happy home as well. And then what we have to go deeper beyond just a fresh coat of paint is that we have programs where we have activities that engage the kids. We draw out their self-confidence and self-esteem through colours. So we actually have various programs. One program is Thumbprints, where they actually paint treasure box, and it's just not about the treasure box in colours, but through these colours, they talk about their aspiration, they talk about their dreams. We draw them out, yes, and we show them that, hey, you all have talent, you are special on your own way.
Seeing a need to go deeper with his children to continue building them as individuals, Nippon Paint's upcoming plans for the year include Colourful Reads and Colourful Picasso workshops, which focus on reading and drawing to impart the joy of learning amongst the children, and an art exhibition to showcase the children's creative talents and in turn build greater confidence and self-worth.
We actually have a very long list of all the homes across Malaysia, I would say. And we will call them up to make an appointment to see the homes. Some homes are very nice, some homes are not very nice, but we also look at their own ownership of the people who is taking care of it. Yes, we do revisit the homes after that, and we are very happy to say that many of the homes that we worked with, they all have they feel so nice when they have a very nice, conducive environment to live in. So therefore, they continue to upkeep it. And the children are very excited when they have a very nice, happy place to be in. So they are very joyful.
Nippon Paint's dreams of creating joy for today and hope for tomorrow translates into positively impacting the physical condition as well as the socio-emotional development of these children, not just for now but into the future, and they believe that they can do even more with them this year.
Kopi secara semulanya berasid, tapi Kopiku LA Coffee memang sesuai untuk saya, terutamanya ketika bersahur. Ia satu-satunya kopi keluarga saya.
Aroma istimewa, rasanya pun enak.
Sesuai untuk kami dan ia halal.
Untuk berbuka puasa, Kopiku LA Coffee Ice memang sedap.
Saya pula suka Kopiku LA Coffee yang panas.
Selamat berbuka puasa bersama kopi yang sesuai dengan anda.
3 bintang bola sepak dunia. Coco Pai. Sepanjang 13 Jun hingga 14 Julai, 32 pasukan, 32 hari sambutan dengan 3 citarasa pilihan. Mari bersamba bersama Coco Pai dalam bersama meraihkan pertarungan gergasi bola sepak dunia di TV1, TV2 dan TVI. Piala Dunia FIFA 2014 bersama Coco Pai, pai coklat dengan marshmallow.
Hi, we're Upin and Ipin. Join us to support the 7 World Summit on Media for the 21st Century Children from 8 till 10 September 2014 in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Let's make it happen. For more details, visit wsmc2014.org.
Piala Dunia FIFA 2014 semakin rancak. Sambaria, program yang menghimpunkan kuis mingguan, kuis terkumpul, info dan bicara bola sepak serta pelbagai aktiviti menarik dibawakan untuk anda. Peluang untuk anda menangi hadiah-hadiah yang menarik. Jangan lupa, secara langsung Sambaria setiap Jumaat dan Sabtu 12:30 malam di TV2. Semarakkan semangat bola bersama Sambaria. Rio to Malaysia. Mari bersamba.
And you're still watching Hello On 2 with Constantine and Annie, and hope you enjoyed that whole bit that we gave you early on, which is on mystarjob.com, where you can, of course, get some tips on how to prepare yourself when you're headed for that job interview.
That's right, that's right. A little tips on, well, you've got resume tips, it tells you on what to wear, what not to wear, it tells you on how you look and interact with the interviewer. So yes, it's very interesting. The collaboration with MyStar Jobs, it's absolutely fantastic because they bring this to you. So thank you so much to MyStar Jobs. Now from there, we're moving to another topic which we were talking about earlier. Something very, very pertinent to all of us when we talk about child safety. So that's exactly what we want to discover.
And of course, if you've been reading around social media, I think for the past 1 month or more, I think the last one I saw was a 7-year-old child. She fell to her death from the 3rd floor of a shopping mall. And another one would be about an 18-month child who was found beheaded beside the Klang River. I'm sure that was previously.
And then again, the thing is this, you hear all these cases, and yet there are still parents out there who just let their kids go to the Sunday shop as young as 5 years old. I've seen it with my own eyes. This has happened. I wonder, exactly how do these parents allow this to happen? Why do they take things lightly? That's exactly what we want to find out. Why do parents take things lightly?
That's right. Our hot topic for today, it's child safety. And, well, let's introduce our guest in the studio.
We have with us Datuk Wong Pui Lam, who's the Executive Council Member of MCPF, Malaysian Crime Prevention Foundation, to tell us more. Hello, Datuk. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Welcome to the studio.
Welcome.
Thanks for joining us. So let's just get right down to it. Child safety. Can you maybe tell us what are some of the awareness campaigns MCPF has been doing lately? What with the rising cases that are coming in that we see in the papers?
Thank you very much for inviting the MCPF to your program. Actually, since its inception in 1993, MCPF has been also one of the main tasks of the MCPF is to protect children. We have been conducting a lot of meeting the people session, educating the parents, neighborhood reach, so as to educate the parents to look after the safety of the children.
Right.
To us, any form of violence or abuse of the children we are against.
Sure.
In fact, we believe that the safety and protection of children should come from the parents and the home first, not the police
or
not
the schools, or the
It should
community.
be from the home.
Very true, very true. Now we're going to throw out the phone lines to all of you out there. 2282-8578, 2282-8579. Malaysia, give us a call, Malaysia. This is a shout out to all of you, because this topic not only concerns us discussing about it right here in the studios, it concerns everyone, all of you out there. Each one of you is a mum and dad. You'd want to ensure that your child is safe if he or she goes out of your gates. So let's talk about this. Give us a call. I'm just very curious on this entire case that's been coming in. You mentioned about the beheading of the poor child, the negligence. We also read in the papers about a father who left the child in the car and went off to pay his petrol bills. Again, kids get abducted. People are taking it too lightly. What can we do, Dato'?
Everyone must start from the house first.
There you go. We're coming back to the
social
parents.
problem. You all start from the house. Family problems, financial problems, urban living pressure. This will have a direct effect on the mental health of some parents.
Yeah.
They will trigger some sort of frustration and anger. That's why you mentioned it's a negligent. I would like the word negligent. Leaving the child in the car, oblivious of what is happening around them. That is the problem. We want to emphasize that this safety, security and protection of the child lies mainly with the parents. Of course, we have the Child Act 2001 to protect the child. We have also a number of other legislation. But I think the MCPF always believe that the home come from the house. Because statistics have shown that most of 90% 94 in 2012, 93 in 2013, 92 also in up to May 2014, all the abuse cases, violence against children are from the home.
Okay.
90%.
Now, Dato', I believe we have ourselves a phone call right now. We have Abdul Rahman and
Hi, good afternoon.
Rahman, I believe, yes. And
hello, good afternoon to you all.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hi.
The topic for today seems to be about children and careless parents.
Yes.
Now, don't throw the entire problem on the parents. I am also holding the government as responsible. If I have to compare with another country, then people will not be happy. I'll give you one small example. Look at all the bandarized DDKL flags. There are a lot of children, even at 2 a.m. in the morning, lottering here, lottering there, but the parents go to the school, wait at 11 o'clock in the morning to bring them back to their home, see them, thereafter they forget about the whole effect. Where the children go, what they do, nobody is interested. Then again, we will have seminar, and you get a lot of Professor Kangkung coming. They spend 100 million on a seminar. Makan tidur. They will speak 365 days in a year, 364 days is forgotten. Only for one whole day is sit and nag on that issue. End of the day, it all boils down to nothing. It's just a complete waste of fun. One example, Singapore Development House Nibor. You can see there's always a balai there, a religious department officer there, the enforcement officers are there. They are going around and around checking on all these people, small kids lottering at about in the morning, in the evening, 10 in the whatever so time.
Okay.
They make sure who are you, where do you live. They take you to the office and they call the parents down to come and take the child back. This is how you discipline. Not having a housing development board like that. There's nobody existing.
Okay, Rahman, do you have any suggestions?
The taxpayers, you have the right to demand from the government to do. Yep. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Rahman. I was hoping that he would share some suggestions.
I know. I think we understand the point you're coming in with, Encik Rahman. I think we understand where you're coming in from. We really completely, let's just say, associate with exactly what you're saying. Parents can't be blamed completely. However, we're not putting the blame on the parent. Please don't get us wrong. We're not saying parents are to be blamed. What we want to do is just have an open discussion on who exactly is supposed to be responsible if a child is taken away from you. If the child is abducted, then who do you hold responsible? Do you hold the authorities responsible? I don't think so. Now, again, we go back to the parents, isn't it? As Datuk mentioned, it's going back to the home. The home is where you teach them basic rules.
You must teach our children the basic rules, protect yourself, the safety rules, to be careful of your surroundings. I quite agree with Encik Rahman. Some of the points are quite pertinent.
Yeah.
Perhaps we should maybe relook at the Child Act of 2001, where the government could amend or to certain provisions of the Child Act to not only punish the parents for their negligence, but also to have some provisions for the protection of children. On the crowded flats and all these things.
Yeah.
Perhaps the government could relook at the dwelling areas for children and come up with a high-powered task force comprising of certain ministries, agencies, departments, including NGOs, to work out some sort of a strategy, a plan, how best we can provide safety and protection for the children in conjunction with the Child Act. Because we cannot leave everything to the parents also, I do agree.
Yeah.
But from statistics from Royal Malaysia Police, most happenings are from the home.
That's true. That's true.
Abuse and violence, all from the home.
Yeah.
And especially from the caretakers, from the father and from the mother. From statistics given to us by the Royal Malaysia Police up to May 2014 are from the home. So I think even missing person away, they're missing neglect of the home. They have too much freedom to go about and they're missing. Now, of course, the other reasons is following the friends, missing out and follow the lovers. But mainly are from the homes.
All right. We believe we have another caller online. Yes. Okay, we do. We do have another caller online. Phone lines are going. Hi, Jude.
Hello?
Is that Jude?
Yes, hello.
Hi, Jude. Yes.
Hello, hello on two.
Share your thoughts with us this afternoon, Jude.
I've not been on the line on Holland 2 for so long. But this is a very interesting topic.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, on the child safety. To me, I feel that parents, the authority, and the community, they have to play a part. They never allow the children to be on their own or to be astray. See? Anytime the parents, they should be aware where the children are. Also, the authority, they must have a lot of these security men, all doing on the job protection of the children. They also must be aware of these children about. And any stranger or any unknown person to be around, then there's an alarm system to be on, to be take extra precaution.
Right.
And Stephen, I'd like to tell you, now we are living in the electronic age nowadays with the GWSP and for satellite available all over the world.
Yeah.
What I would like to suggest is, from the government, now every newborn baby, let us implant the electronic name tag on them.
Oh, okay.
Electronic implant on them when they are a child. And this electronic tag, when they are implanted to baby, we can detect them anytime. Then we turn on the GWSP.
Jude, sorry, can I just stop you there right there? Did you say put an electronic name tag on the baby?
Electronic name tag implant into the child. That is done in the advanced country. In the advanced country, they're doing that. In the state, Japan or any advanced country, Canada, they are doing that. They plant in the electronic name tag into the child, and then we can know wherever the child goes, we can detect the GWSP.
Right.
From the satellite station.
Okay.
24 hours. The child will be getting, you can detect them because they are with the electronic name tag. And we should do that. There's no time to wait and see, And all the cases of missing child here and there, and attendants crying, holding everywhere, missing every time anything.
All right.
We put the electronic name tag on them, the moment the child is being born, and they are being detected in hours on the GWSP.
Okay, Jude, thank you. Thank you for that suggestion, Jude. Thank you very much.
Wow, going a little bit high tech with the suggestion right there.
Well, that's a nice. Please bring them. Get the calls coming in. Bring that in 2282-8578-8579. That's what we want to know, Malaysia. We want to know what your suggestions are. What can be done to curb this problem? At the same time, I think raising awareness not only in community to your child. That's something we need to look into as well, isn't it?
Exactly. Now, Dato, what's your response to what Jube just suggested earlier? And that would be...
I like his term of community.
Yes.
We hope that we can develop and nurture a culture of child protection and safety within the community. That's why the Malaysian Crime Prevention Foundation is trying to go ahead with our meeting the people session. We would like to a culture of child protection and safety. That is for the community. But I mentioned earlier on about some statistics. They are real statistics. They are from reported cases where most of the happenings are from homes, from guardians. So we still come back to the protection of the parents in the home. The reason why we need to look at this particular point is from some experts, in fact child experts, have found out that because of the urban living, because of financial problem, and sometimes because of marital problems, this could trigger
abuse.
I use the word negligence, abuse, violence.
Yeah.
I used to call the perpetrators on all these things. We should have some sort of a culture within the community to look after our children. These are the statistics. And most of the cases of missing persons come also from the home. Neglect. No parental guidance, then they went away.
Now, Dato', let's talk about, as I mentioned earlier, I think as much as the awareness needs to go to the parents and the community, the child also should be educated on this. I think every child should be told what to look out for. If there's a stranger alert, I think that's something that you need to educate the children as well. Stranger alerts, how to say no. When you see somebody trying to be nice to you with a lollipop, you sort of get your guards up. So these are some of the things that you need to educate the children with.
This is from the home.
This is from the
parents
home.
Must tell them,
true.
Don't
Again, it's a domino effect.
It's a domino effect. I've got to come back from the home. I haven't come back to the schools yet.
Yes.
I'm just getting to the schools, actually. My question was actually heading towards the schools. Does MCPF actually do anything with the schools to tell children, okay, look out for stuff like this, and then sort of do a workshop with them on what to expect if something happens to you, or what to do,
In fact, the Director General of Education is a member of the MCPF also, or ex-official. We have about more than 600 clubs, MCPF clubs in schools. And the Royal Malaysia Police, they have one inspector or assistant superintendent of police in certain schools, in most of the schools, big schools, to help the schools on security. Now, on the school curriculum, I like to emphasize that we should also have some curriculum to tell the teachers, to educate the students on safety.
I beg to differ. I'm sorry, Dato', I beg to differ. I don't think we should put the burden on the schools. I don't think the teachers ought to be given this burden, because, again, we're going back to the fact that teachers are already saying they're being burdened with a whole load of stuff on their hands.
Sorry, not completely the syllabus.
Right.
On child safety
education.
On child safety. Child safety education, the do's and don'ts. Because, mind you, the child doesn't spend 1 hour in school.
Yeah, that's true.
At least 5 or 6 hours, or maybe 8 hours in school. And that is a time where we can educate them, maybe intermingle with other subjects, civics, for that matter. Do it. Don't be so compartmentalized. Oh, I'm only teaching mathematics, something history, that's all.
That's true.
I should suggest that. I'm not saying the education department what to do, but this, because the children are under, of course, I come to the parents again. These two components.
Now, Dato', from schools, what about public places? I mean, what safety features can public spaces have? Places such as shopping malls or even car parks, elevators, etc., etc. How can they help in countering, attacks on children? Any suggestions?
We have the authorities have alerted, especially the biggest shopping mall, to have this so-called emergency alert, and to increase the lighting system, and of course security guards. They are the main components of the security. Of course, it all boils down to alertness. You bring your children to public place. Don't leave them alone.
Yes.
Yeah.
It happens all the time.
Please don't leave them alone. Don't leave them in a car and go and buy some electrical goods.
Yeah. Just because you're too lazy to park the car.
No, I don't want to mention name.
Yeah.
I don't leave in a car. Don't leave the engine on.
Yeah.
I'll leave it send a child to the caretaker first. I think this is, we need to relook at this one. I'm not saying they are all completely wrong. There may be circumstances, but I come back to the family unit.
Okay.
A child is a child. Because of their immaturity, because of the mental makeup, parents come in. You look at the preamble of the Child Act. Why the government has enacted Child Act of 2001? The preamble says because of the child's sensitive immaturity, they need protection.
True.
That's what the Child Act. But I do suggest that the MCPF hope that the government can relook at the Child Act for more emphasis, put more emphasis on child protection. Apart from parental neglect, safety and protection of child in public places.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Okay. Any final advice before we wrap things up here today, Dato'? To parents, perhaps.
I mentioned earlier on that we, as a parent, as parents, we need to, the unit of protection is from the home, the parents. We have got to rely on that. But the other thing is that a community of culture, to develop a culture of safety and protection in the community. That's what we have, Rukun Tetangga, we have Resident Association, we have other NGOs. This should be developed to incorporate child safety and protection.
Fantastic.
Okay. All right. With that said, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. We'd like to say a big thank you to Dato' Wong Pui Lam, Executive Council Member of Malaysian Crime Prevention Foundation. And I think Dato' mentioned a very good point there. Whatever said and done in the society, no matter what happens in the society, ultimately it's back home. That's where the whole education, the awareness, everything starts to your child right there at the house.
And of course, on that note, we bring today's Hello On to a close nicely. And well, you continue on enjoying your Wednesday afternoon, and we'll see you guys again very soon. Constantine and Annie signing off.
Peace and out, Malaysia.
And darkness all around, you feel so helpless, you can't see which way to go. Don't despair and never lose hope, 'cause Allah is always by your side. Insha'Allah, 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 you'll find your way. Insha'Allah, 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 you'll find your way. Every time you commit one more mistake, you that it's way too late. You're so confused, wrong decisions you have made haunt your mind, and your heart is full of shame. But don't despair and never lose hope, 'cause Allah is always by your side.